Well, isn't it obvious, nurse? Serial killers.
NANI?!
Oh, no. It's nothing messed up. It's just that this is the month of October, so it's all Halloween season, so I have to make a few videos about horror stuff, so yeah. No, nah, I feel like it's a little weird for me to review that one. I don't know why. I feel like there's a lot of controversy behind that series, so I'm gonna avoid it. Oh, it's a different type of serial killer. And yeah, I'm gonna explain it soon. No psychosis. Hey guys, it's me, the gaming Dr. Mada. And yeah, I know, late for another video, but you are used to me by now. But today I have a new spooky movie to talk to you about, and I'm gonna get straight into it. Let's talk about my next patient, a movie that honestly surprised me. Let's talk about The Black Phone. So, the movie was initially announced in October 2020. It was made by the director Scott Derrickson, who has a good background behind him, with movies such as Sinister and The Exorcism of Emily Rose, as well as some other movies too. This movie was an adaptation of John Hill's short story, The Black Phone. They cast two child stars, Manson Thames and Madeleine McGraw, to be the leads of this movie. And the villain was said to be played by the person with the coolest name ever, Ethan Hawke, who played the villain known as the Grabber. The film had a very standard budget of about 16 to 18 million US dollars. It was set to be released on January 28th of this year, but due to certain issues was delayed until the 24th of June. Thank goodness for that, because this movie is not one of those January garbage fest movies that we normally get. And I think June was the perfect time to release it. So, let's get into the presentation of this movie. So the movie takes place in the suburbs of Denver. However, not all is well, as kids are being abducted by a person nicknamed the Grabber. Our protagonists are two siblings by the name of Finney and Gwen Blake. They have a father who has a really bad temper, but they manage to get by. Finn is a bit more reserved than his sister, and it shows when he gets bullied and she fights to save him while he tends to run and avoid conflicts. While all this is happening in Finn's life, the Grabber is around and he's busy taking boys from this neighborhood, and eventually he crosses paths with Finn, taking him to be his next victim. The Grabber locks Finn in a room where he is held hostage. The room is mostly empty except for a bed, a toilet, some other things here and there, and an old black wall telephone. This phone doesn't work. The boy starts getting calls from past victims of the Grabber as they come together to try to save his life. And that's the basic synopsis of the story. There's a lot more, but of course, keeping it spoiler free. Let's go into the signs and symptoms of my patient. As always, we start off with my characters. Madeleine and Manson are amazing actors, honestly speaking. I know I give a lot of praise most times, but these two really do a good job to lead this movie. They're very believable and have great chemistry with each other, as well as everyone else they interact with. I enjoyed this movie because of them, and they were the best leads for such a movie. As you watch them and see their relationship grow, you can't help but feel for them and actually do really support them by the end of the movie. I also love the way the movie switches from a thriller to a slightly supernatural vibe to it, as you eventually watch these kids try to help Finn develop himself and get better and finding a way to escape. I also enjoyed watching Finn overcome his self-doubt and become a stronger character as you watch this movie. Another character is Gwen. Her sweet yet firecracker personality really meshes well with her brothers. And you could also see this semi-rebellious yet sweet person in her. I love how strong she is, and anytime she sees her brother in trouble, she does not hesitate to come help him when she is needed. Then we have the coolest character ever, Ethan Hawke. He is spectacular as the Grabber. He doesn't really say much, but his actions are really creepy and make you feel kind of uncomfortable. You can tell that he really enjoys what he does, and he's just so psycho and messed up as this kidnapper, semi-serial killer guy. And yeah, he did excellent in his role. I actually did feel fear, and his mask, my gosh, his mask which he uses to emote himself, whether he's angry or happy or, you know, in his weird mood. He always has a mask which suits whatever he wants to feel for that occasion. But yeah, it's really creepy, not knowing what he'll do or how he'll behave or which mask you'll see. And I enjoyed that dynamic of that movie. The movie just takes place in a few areas and it's very limited, but I like how isolated it feels. They didn't need to go far on this movie. They didn't need to bring out new environments or crazy places like that. It's in a small town and in a small room, and that's all you need. It tells the story magnificently, and I really was gripped from start to finish with this movie. It was honestly a big surprise because, yeah, I mean, horror movies these days, especially when it deals with like abductions and slashes, don't really drive me, but this one was different and I enjoyed it so damn much. More than any I've actually watched in a long time in terms of slasher, horror, you know, kidnapping movies. So yeah, there are a few other supportive characters like the father as well, who also does a great job in portraying the story and the background behind the kids and their life. And you also see where he comes from, although he doesn't handle it well. And again, honestly, I'm gonna go grab on these dogs soon if they don't shut up. I really don't have many complaints about the story much because I felt it told the story it needed to tell. Keeping the grabber very mysterious was a good touch. I don't think it would have been nice if we kind of delved into his life because the whole mystery of his character kind of pushed the story a little bit more and made him feel a little more creepy and otherworldly than a normal human psychopath would. Let's get into my diagnosis of this. For my diagnosis, I would just say that this is an amazing patient. I enjoyed it and loved it from start to finish. It was great. It told the story it needed to tell. Nothing more, nothing less. Honestly, I am seriously apologizing about the dogs outside. If you want, I'll turn them into hot dog meat, but that'll be another time. Yeah, I don't have many complaints and I really wish all of you watch it because it'll really blow you away. And yeah, I find it very interesting, intriguing, and very nice to get into. It hasn't got any flaws, but still it has a great history, a great presentation. And you honestly will really want to get to know more about this patient as you watch it. And again, I really apologize personally for the dogs that are outside. There's nothing much I can do but let them bark. Right now I do want to throw them to the grabber, but that'll be another story. And sadly, I like dogs. As for my recommendations, I really would recommend that I don't do videos at night because dogs bark like hell. But besides that, I really don't have any other issues of note. This patient was great, great movie, really intriguing, very thrilling, awesome story from start to finish. Everything was just great to me. And you all should really watch it. So I recommend all of you watch this, especially during this Halloween season. So yeah. In terms of channels to recommend, I don't really have. Oh, yeah, the Flick Pick. Go watch the Flick Pick. He's fun. He likes Sour Patch Kids and he has muscles like me. So go watch him. And besides that, I really can't say anything else. I'm going to keep this video short and sweet. Not going to blabber on, but always thank you so much for supporting this channel. I'll still do a review for Top Gun Maverick next week and a few other movies here and there and maybe a game or two. But yeah. I'm sorry for my content as usual, blackouts daily here in Malawi, and just doing my best. So thank you guys, love you so much, and yeah, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, guys, on to the next patient.